Hello, my name is Keith TRUSSLER. At this time of year, we would ordinarily be celebrating your generosity at the St. Joseph's Cornerstone Society dinner. Unfortunately, of course, because of the continuing pandemic, we are not able to safely gather again this year. However, we do remain committed to recognizing the power of your giving. On behalf of St. Joseph's, we would like to express our deep appreciation for you, the members of the St. Joseph's Cornerstone Society. The Society is comprised of St. Joseph's most dedicated supporters. Some of you have been involved through generations of family giving. Others are newer to our community. Many of you give in appreciation for the care you've received or in honor of a loved one. Or you want to leave a strong legacy through planned giving. Some of you lead through corporate philanthropy and community building. Or you become a donor in addition to being physicians, researchers, leaders, staff members, or volunteers. Yes, we all give. And no matter why you give, one thing is clear. It comes from a personal desire to help others and to support the health of our community for generations to come. And for that, we thank you. To celebrate you and what you've helped make possible, we are pleased to share with you some of the many things touched by your support across St. Joseph's this past year.
Hi, my name is KATHERINE, PLESTED, and I'm a therapeutic recreation specialist at Mount Hope Center for Long-Term Care. I absolutely love what I do with the residents of Mount Hope. Getting to know their lifelong story, finding out what is authentic and meaningful to them to develop lived experiences while they're at Mount Hope is an absolute pleasure for myself. A year ago, the doors closed at Mount Hope. This was a time when our residents no longer could connect with their family and friends. And our residents were no longer able to go out and experience the community in the ways that they once did. In therapeutic recreation, we had to come up with ways on how to be reconnecting our residents to their family and friends, how we were providing programs to find out what was meaningful and authentic in a new way that we had never really thought of before. And we are so grateful that we were then provided the opportunity to get access to different iPads and smartboards for our residents to be connecting in this virtual way that a 90-year-old has never even fathomed or thought of. Half of them had never even used a computer before, and we are so grateful. We had a resident whose grandson was planning a wedding. Nothing was going to stop this love, and the wedding was going to proceed. So working with the family, we figured out a way that they could have technology on their end, and it was for us to use our iPads to have this resident be part of that special day. The day proceeded, and she was able to witness the entire wedding all through this technology, and we were so grateful once again to have that so she could be part of her grandson's wedding day. On behalf of the Mount Hope residents, thank you.
My name is Ruby GREWAL. I'm an orthopedic surgeon here at the Hand and Upper Limb Center, and my specialty focuses on surgery around the wrist and hand. A variety of programs use the ORs, including Roth McFarlane Hand and Upper Limb, urology, breast care, and the IVI Institute. As surgeons, we depend on lights, video systems, and other tools and technology in the OR to be able to do our work. The operating rooms at St. Joseph's were more than 10 years old and had become very outdated for surgical standards today. The video technology needed to see the procedure, lighting systems needed to light the surgical field, and boom arms to house the technology all needed to be replaced. Thanks to donor support, the ORs now have new lights, which are brighter and modular, which helps to minimize shadows and focus the lighting on the surgical field. The new boom arms are easy to move around the operating room, and they help us perform specialized surgery. And there's a new 4K video system in place, which enables us surgeons to see inside the areas which are being operated on and help guide our work. These enhancements also help us when teaching the next generation of surgeons. Thank you to the Cornerstone Society members, and thanks to donors, we are able to have the best equipment and technology to carry out our surgical procedures for the thousands of people who count on us for specialized care.
I'm Dr.ARLENE MACDOUGALL. I'm a psychiatrist and Director of Research and Innovation for Mental Health Care at St. Joseph's Healthcare London. I'm also the Principal Investigator and Director of Minds of London Middlesex. The wicked problem that Minds is trying to solve is the growing burden of mental ill health in our community. What does this mean? It means that more people than ever before are experiencing mental health problems. and along with that, an impact on their functioning, their ability to go to work, to engage in school, or be social. And so our whole focus is on improving the mental and emotional well-being of youth. And in order to do that, we have to work with youth through the whole process. We take a systems approach as well as a design approach. So we're trying to understand what are the deeper root causes of poor mental health, and how do we use design processes to develop new solutions, like prototypes that we can quickly test and evaluate and learn how to sustain and scale them to impact more people. Without the incredibly generous donations that we have received through the St. Joseph's Healthcare Foundation, MINDS would not have been possible.
Hi, I'm Michelle Campbell, President and CEO of St. Joseph's Healthcare Foundation, and it's my great pleasure to also thank all of the members of our Cornerstone Society for your generous support. Whether we're facing a pandemic or facing disease, illness, or injury, our community can be counted upon to support local healthcare. This past year, donors enabled St. Joseph's to respond to urgent hospital needs at the bedside and in the lab. Things like Fitbit trackers for patients with type 2 diabetes, virtual reality equipment to support spiritual care and recreation in mental health, and weighted blankets to comfort veterans experiencing anxiety. Community support also ensured that St. Joseph's continues to lead the way in innovative care by adding 7 new ultrasound machines across St. Joseph's Hospital and Parkwood, purchasing new mammography chairs to provide comfort for patients during screening, and enabling soothing rocking chair therapy for residents of Mount Hope. Additionally, we were able to provide personalized care for people living with treatment-resistant depression. Your donation really does matter here. We cannot say it enough. It's because of you that we can make healthcare better with medical technology, new treatments, and groundbreaking research. We hope to gather in person next year to recognize your commitment to care and research across St. Joseph's. Until then, please accept our sincere thanks for your continued support.